The script was very interesting. It was a long time coming when we actually got a final script that we wanted to work with, mainly for the reason that I wrote that first story with something very specific in mind, and then I had ideas about how I wanted to go about the script. But we brought in a scriptwriter, Kirk Ellis. Kirk had won an Emmy for John Adams for HBO, so it was great to get somebody who had history in the back of his head all the time to tag team this with me, and he started writing, and we started tag teaming on writing the script, and we started realizing that all these things that we were doing, we needed great actors to basically perform them. And there's always that fear in the beginning that the actor's not going to be able to go all the way through with what we're trying to do. And in the beginning, it was true. They didn't understand the subtleties of being on mocap, playing what they would normally play on camera. But then, as the sessions passed and the days passed on the stage, suddenly they just became, they just became the character. And what was fun about that is that I rewrote scenes because of the actors, because of their performances. I want to tell you, like, we probably rewrote 50% of the script, not necessarily like new scenes, but the way the scenes were going to play out, purely because they gave us something to build on, and that was just an amazing feeling.
What you mentioned the background and real history. How did that help with creating an alternate history like you guys have in this game? History was the foundation of everything we did, from the characters, from the events, from the places. It had to have that foundation for one simple reason in my head, was that we wanted people who play this game to associate with everything before they started asking questions about what was not real. So building that reality and that history into this game allowed us to not have to explain a lot of things to people. And straight away, somebody picks up the controller, understands London. They see London, but they might see something slightly different in the skyline. So all you have to really justify is that slight difference and not really the whole thing. It really allowed us to basically ground certain of our characters, like Tesla. Nikola Tesla is one of the characters in the game, in reality. How was he when he was young? You have all these stories written about Tesla now. People are celebrating Tesla today more than he was ever celebrated when he was alive. And it's amazing to see that, because there's so much written about him. The same goes for somebody like Lafayette. Lafayette was an icon of our history, of American history, and of French history as well. How would it be to bring somebody like that, who lived 130 years before the time of this game, but would fit in our lore because of our fiction? And it was great to bring all these character traits to people that now are part of a fiction that might almost seem real to people. How did real history impact the weapons and gadgets that you guys have introduced?
Again, history was at the foundation of everything we did. I mean, every single gadget. If you saw the amount of work that some of our concept guys and designers and all those guys actually put in to build one weapon alone, we would do so much groundwork, research work to find every part of every weapon that existed at the time that could potentially be used to build this fictional weapon. So although the result of what we do with a weapon in our game, and actually not every weapon, but I want to tell you about maybe 50% of the weapons, everything that you do in the game is probably not quite real. The other 50% is absolutely grounded in reality. But even though the other 50% is not quite real, everything that makes that weapon makes them look like Tesla could have built it. Makes them look like, somebody else in that time that was a weapons manufacturer would have actually built that weapon truly. It's just that the effect of it is slightly outside the bounds of what they could do at the time.
Are there any cool new weapons or gadgets you guys are showcasing in this demo?
In this demo, we're showcasing a kind of an array of what we've shown in the past, and some new things. Of course, one of the big things actually we want to showcase is the airship alone. The airship was not something that existed at the time. It's probably 40 years, ahead of, something like 30 years ahead of its time. We're showcasing something we call the Tesla device. It's a device that allows you to actually disable electrical systems, and it's something that Tesla would have built. If you really think about what he worked on, we actually almost speculated that he could have built something that really plugged into an electrical grid and could have completely messed up that grid. So it was cool to actually build that, again, that reality into our fiction.